is Sunday and we are at Barberyn Beach. And after our 5 webinars, many of our guests suggested that we continue in June. And we decided we will do that every Sunday, same time, same link. And we also decided that we will engage in some spiritual activity which we can share with you on the first Sunday of each month. On Friday, Sri Lanka celebrated the Poson festival because 2500 years ago, it was on a full moon day in June that Sri Lanka received Buddhism. It thrived, the kings protected it, and it spread to some of the neighboring countries. And we know that it is very difficult. One has to be fortunate to be born a human being. One has to be fortunate, even more fortunate, to be born during a time when the Buddha's word, when the Dhamma is prevalent somewhere in the world. And we have to be really fortunate to live in a place where the Buddha's voice can be heard. And all of us, all of you are such people, because at Barberyn, the Buddha's words are cherished, protected and heard. And today we have a special program because 3 of the monks at the village temple who often come to Barberyn are here, and they will chant a protective sutta from what the Buddha has recited. It is called the Ratana Sutra. But before that particular recital, they will also have a few chants, few verses, for they will take refuge in the Buddha. They will pay their respect to the Buddha with the words Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. And they will take refuge in the 3 gems, as we call it, the Buddha, the Dhamma and the Sangha. And thereafter, they will chant the 5 precepts, the 5 simple disciplines that we as Buddhists try to observe. That we will not say untruth, we will not steal, we will not engage in immoral activity, that we will not take any intoxicants, and we will not steal or take what is not ours. And the Ratana Sutra is a protective blessing, and that is what the monks will chant today. It was recited by the Buddha at a time when in India there was a pandemic, and the kings went to the Buddha and asked for protection. And the Buddha said, remember the 3 truths, the Buddha, the Dhamma and the Sangha, and ask for the protection through these truths. And this is what that sutta does. It reminds us of the Buddha, the Dhamma and the Sangha, and through that, through these truths, that may all beings be well.
සියලු දෙනාම සාදුකාරයක් දෙන්න. නමස්කාරය කියන පන්සිල් සමාදන් වෙන්න. බුද්ධං සරණං ගච්ඡාමි. ධම්මං සරණං ගච්ඡාමි. සංඝං සරණං ගච්ඡාමි. Dutiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami. Dutiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami. Dutiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami Tatiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami Tatiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami Tatiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami Pānātipātā vīramani sikkāpadang samadhiyāmi Adinādānā vīramani sikkāpadang samadhiyāmi Kāmesu miccācārā vīramani sikkāpadang samadhiyāmi Musāvādā vīramani sikkāpadang samadhiyāmi Surāmēraya majjapamā dattānā vīramani sikkāpadang samadhiyāmi
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Itepiso bhagavā arahang samma sambuddho vijjācarana sampanno sugato lokavidu anuttaro purisa dhamma sārati sattā deva manussanang buddho bhagavāti Svāṅkāto bhagavata dhammo Sanditthiko akāliko ehipassiko opanayiko paccattāṃ vedidambo viññoyeti Supatipanno bhagavato sāvaka saṅgho Ujjupatipanno bhagavato sāvaka saṅgho Ñāyapatipanno bhagavato sāvaka saṅgho Sāmīki patipanno bhagavato sāvaka saṅgho Yadidam cattari purisa yukāni atta purisa puggala Esa bhagavato sāvaka saṅgho Āhuneyyo pāhuneyyo dakkineyyo anjali karaniyyo anuttaram Kittang lokasāti Etena sajja vajjena pāsutang ratanatayam Etena sajja vajjena pāsutang ratanatayam Etena sajja vajjena pāsutang ratanatayam Yāni te bhūtāni samāgatāni bummāni vāyāni vāntalikke sabbeva bhūtā sumana bhavantu Atopi sakkacca sunantu bāsitam tasmāhi bhūtāni sāmita sabbe mittam karota manusya pajāya divāca rattoca haranti baling tasmāhi nirakkata appamattājam kiñci vittam idavāhurang vā saṅgesu vāyam ratanam panītam nano samannatti tathāgatena idampi buddhe ratanam panītam etena saccena suvattiyotu අයං විරාගං අමතං පනීතං යදජ්ජගා සත්‍ය මුනි සමාහිතෝ නතේන ධම්මේන සමත්ති වින්ති ඉදම්පි ධම්මේ රතනං පනීතං ඒතේන සච්චේන සුවත්ති හෝතු යම් බුද්ධ සෙට්ඨෝ පරිවන්නයි සුචින් සමාධිමානන්තරිකඤ්ඤමාහු සමාධිනාතේන සමෝන විච්ඡති ධම්පි ධම්මේ රතනං පනීතං ඒතේන සච්චේන සුවත්ති හෝතු යේ පුග්ගලා අට්ඨ සතම්ප සත්තා චත්තාරි ඒතානි යුගානි යොන්ති තේ දක්ඛිනේයා සුගතස්ස ශාවකා ඒතේ සුදින්නානි මහප්පලානි ධම්පි සංඝේ රතනං පනීතං ඒතේන සච්චේන සුවත්ති හෝතු යේ සුප්පයුත්තා මනසා දල්ලේන නික්ඛාමිනෝ ගෝතම සාසනම් නීතේ පත්තිපත්තා අමතං විගයිහ ලද්දා මුදා නිබ්බුතින් ගුඤ්ජමානාය ධම්පි සංඝේ රතනං පනීතං ඒතේන සච්චේන සුවත්ති හෝතු යතින්ද කීලෝ පඨවින් සිතෝසියා චතුබ්බි වාතේ වියසම්පකම්පියෝ තතුපමං සප්පුරිසං වදාමි යෝ අරිය සත්‍යානි අවෙච්ච පස්සති ධම්පි සංඝේ රතනං පනීතං ඒතේන සච්චේන සුවත්ති හෝතු ඒ අරිය සත්‍යානි විභාවයන්ති ගම්භීර පඤ්ඤේන සුදේසිතානි කිංචාපි තේ හොන්ති කුසප්ප මත්තානතේ භවං අට්ඨමං ආදියන්ති ධම්පි සංඝේ රතනං පනීතං ඒතේන සච්චේන සුවත්ති හෝතු සහවස්ස දස්සන සම්පදාය තයස්සු ධම්මා ජහිතා භවන්ති සක්කාය දිට්ඨි විචිකිච්ඡිතං ච සීලබ්බතං වා පියදස්සි කිංචි චතුහපායේ හිත විප්පමුත්තෝ චචාපිඨානානි අපබ්බෝ කාතුං ඉදම්පි සංඝේ රතනං පනීතං ඒතේන සච්චේන සුවත්ති හෝතු කිංචාපිසෝ කම්මං කරෝති පාපකං කායේන වාචා උදචේතසා වා අපබ්බෝ සෝතස්ස පටිච්චාදාය අපබ්බතා දිට්ඨ පදස්ස උත්තා ඉදම්පි සංඝේ රතනං පනීතං ඒතේන සච්චේන සුවත්ති හෝතු අනප්පගුම්බේ යතා පුස්සිතග්ගේ ගිම්හාන මාසේ පඨමස්මින් ගිම්මේ තතුපමං ධම්ම වරං අදේසයි නිබ්බානගාමින් පරමං හිතාය ඉදම්පි බුද්ධේ රතනං පනීතං ඒතේන සච්චේන සුවත්ති හෝතු වරෝ වරඤ්ඤෝ වරදෝ වරහරෝ අනුත්තරෝ ධම්ම වරං අදේසයි ඉදම්පි බුද්ධේ රතනං පනීතං ඒතේන සච්චේන සුවත්ති හෝතු ඊනම් පුරාණං නවන්නත්ති සම්භවං විරත්ත චිත්තා ආයතිකේ භවස්මින් තේ කීන බීජා අවිරුල්ලිච්ඡන්දා නිප්පන්ති දීරා යතායම් පදීපෝ ඉදම්පි සංඝේ රතනං පනීතං ඒතේන සච්චේන සුවත්ති හෝතු යානිද භූතානි සමාගතානි බුම්මානි වායානි වහන්තලික්කේ තථාගතං දේව මනුස්ස පූජිතං බුද්ධං සාම සුවත්ති හෝතු යානිද භූතානි සම
සමාගතානි බුම්මානි වායානි
වන්තලික්කේ
තථාගතං දේව මනුස්ස පූජිතං ධම්මං
නමස්සාම
සුවත්ති හෝතු යානිත භූතානි සමාගතානි
බුම්මානි වායානි වන්තලික්කේ
තථාගතං දේව මනුස්ස පූජිතං
සංඝං නමස්සාම
සුවත්ති හෝතු
ඒතේන
සච්ච වජ්ජේන
දුක්ඛා උපසමින්තු තේ ඒතේන
සච්ච වජ්ජේන භයා උපසමින්තු තේ
ඒතේන සච්ච වජ්ජේන
රෝගා උපසමින්තු තේ
යන්දුන්
නිමිත්තං අවමංගලං ච යෝචා මනාපෝ සකුණස්ස සද්දෝ පාපග්ගහෝ දුස්සුපිනං අකන්තං බුද්ධානුභාවේන විනාශමෙන්තු
යන්දුන් නිමිත්තං
අවමංගලං ච යෝචා මනාපෝ සකුණස්ස සද්දෝ පාපග්ගහෝ දුස්සුපිනං
අකන්තං
ධම්මානුභාවේන විනාශමෙන්තු
යන්දුන් නිමිත්තං
අවමංගලං ච යෝජාමනාපෝ සකුණස්ස සද්දෝ පාපග්ගහෝ දුස්සුපිනං අකන්තං සංඝානුභාවේන විනාශමෙන්තු
සබ්බීතියෝ විවජ්ජන්තු
සබ්බ රෝගෝ විනස්සතු මාතේ භවත්වන්තරායෝ සුඛී දීඝායුකෝ භව
භවතු සබ්බ
මංගලං රක්ඛන්තු සබ්බ දේවතා සබ්බ බුද්ධානුභාවේන සදා සොත්ති භවන්තු තේ භවතු සබ්බ මංගලං රක්ඛන්තු සබ්බ දේවතා සබ්බ ධම්මානුභාවේන සදා සොත්ති භවන්තු තේ භවතු සබ්බ මංගලං රක්ඛන්තු සබ්බ දේවතා සබ්බ සංඝානුභාවේන සදා
සොත්ති භවන්තු තේ
දුක්ඛප්පත්තා ච නිදුක්ඛා භයප්පත්තා ච නිබ්බයා සෝකප්පත්තා ච නිස්සෝකා හොන්තු සබ්බේ පිපානිනෝ
සබ්බේ බුද්ධා
බලප්පත්තා පත්තේකානං ච යම් බලං අරහන්තානං ච තේජේන රක්ඛම් බන්ධාමි සබ්බසෝ
සබ්බේ බුද්ධා බලප්පත්තා
පත්තා පත්තේකානං ච යම් බලං අරහන්තානං ච තේජේන රක්ඛම් බන්ධාමි
සබ්බසෝ සබ්බේ
බුද්ධා බලප්පත්තා පත්තේකානං ච යම් බලං
අරහන්තානං ච තේජේන
රක්ඛම් බන්ධාමි සබ්බසෝ
නක්ඛත්තයක්ඛ
භූතානං පාපග්ගා නිවාරණා පරිත්තස්සානුභාවේන හන්තු තේ සංඋපද්දවේ
නක්ඛත්තයක්ඛ
යක්ඛ භූතානං පාපග්ගා නිවාරණා පරිත්තස්සානුභාවේන හන්තු තේ සංඋපද්දවේ
නක්ඛත්තයක්ඛ භූතානං පාපග්ගා නිවාරණා පරිත්තස්සානුභාවේන
භාවේන
හන්තු තේ සංඋපද්දවේ.
Seated comfortably on a chair, on the floor, even on the bed. it is useful to sit cross-legged because that immediately straightens your spine, your back. And when your back is straight, it is easier to be still. To be still is an important quality to develop. Still in your body, still in your mind. But the most important thing is that you sit somewhere. And we can close our eyes to avoid distraction. And when I sit and close my eyes at Barberyn Beach, I can start hearing the nature around me. And maybe you can hear some of the voices as well, the voices of the birds. And I can hear the wind rustle the leaves of the trees. And the distant sound of the ocean. And wherever you are, you will hear some sounds. And now, let's locate our breath. The breath that comes into us from somewhere, goes somewhere, comes again. Locate it. Breathing in and breathing out. And this universe has a beneficial energy. And that energy is also within us. And we need to learn to connect to it. And that comes from the rhythm. It's the rhythm of life. It's the rhythm of clarity. It's the rhythm of compassion. Breathing in and breathing out. This basic meditation, this meditation with which the Buddha reached enlightenment, is at the foundation of all meditation. And once you are following that rhythm, I would like to introduce you today to mindfulness meditation. Being mindful, being aware of our body, being aware of our feelings and being aware of our mental thought process. In Buddhism, we call this Vipassana Bhavana. Vipassana, insight meditation. It is a careful observation of your body, of your feelings, and your mind, your thoughts. So let us begin simply with our body. Let's be observant of our body. We are seated. We can feel our thighs on the chair. If you're cross-legged, you can feel a little discomfort. Where I am, I can feel the fresh breath, the fresh wind, gentle wind on my face. Take a moment to become aware of your body, yourself. Most of the time, we spend very little time in getting to know ourselves, to understanding ourselves. We spend very little time with ourselves, with our true self. We know a great deal about our friends, our family, our neighbor. And now, pay attention to your feelings. Are you feeling relaxed? Are you feeling tensed? Are you happy? Are you unhappy? Are there any fears lurking just below your consciousness, waiting to rise at any moment? Observe it. the while, in the background, don't forget your breath. Keep that rhythm. And now bring your attention, your observance to your thoughts. See how they come and go. See how busy your mind is. My mind wanders all the time, and I have to bring it back to attention over and over again. Observe yourself gently, without judgment. You are seated with the intention of meditating. You are silent, quiet, still. And you are being observant of your thoughts. time breathing in and breathing out. And when you observe your thoughts, there is something wonderful that can happen. It shows us that we are not our thoughts. Our thoughts are independent of us. So we can be the gatekeeper of our thoughts. And in a way, our processes start with the thought. It's the thought that leads to the feeling. It's the feeling that leads to the action. And when we practice this, we can see the thought arising. The anger, the doubt, the anxiety. And when we observe that, sometimes that feeling dissipates. There's nothing to be angry about. There's nothing to be anxious about. It's just an idea. It doesn't help us. And when we can recognize the anxiety coming up, when we can recognize the anger coming up, we can deal with it. We can respond to it, not react to it. We can change the course of our action. Breathing in and breathing out. Thoughts come, thoughts go. We can be mindful. Feeling comes, feelings go. We can be mindful. And the body comes up with problems, pain, hunger, comfort, discomfort. We can be aware of all of these things and develop a deep insight. It starts with simple observation. This observation can also bring us deep tranquility, equanimity, the sense of being able to withstand anything that comes our way, the inner strength. It starts with sitting down and beginning to focus on our breath. Breathing in and breathing out. When you are ready, you can gently open your eyes. And as the lockdown eases in most of our countries, some of you had written to us to say how it was a valuable experience, how it was a dreadful experience, and that all of you learned things from it. And we thought that it would be good to share some of these experiences before we forget and move on. we have such short memories. And so, what I would like to suggest is that you could write down your ideas, your feelings, and particularly the wisdom that you gathered during this lockdown period. If you have something to write today, my team will be there with me about 30 minutes after this webinar. And if you write in, we can try and share some of our views. If you write in through the Zoom, please add your email so that if I can't respond now, we can respond to you later. And otherwise, you will see at the end of the screen when we complete the email account to which you can write in. We thought that when we start, then we can have a collage. And I have a brilliant designer friend, Marianne, who will help us to make some wall art with this, perhaps in our new resort, which we almost opened, Barberyn Waves, but didn't quite make it. And I also have some good news for you, because the Sri Lankan government has announced that we will receive overseas guests irrespective of the country from the 1st of August this year. And I think, as I told you before, Barberyn never closes. The staff are like seed. They wait for the rain, and the rain is their guests. So when you are ready to come to Sri Lanka, we are ready to receive you. And we will send you some further information about this opening up of Sri Lanka and the resorts soon. I would like to tell you that we have a blog in our new website where we have information, and you can check the blog to get further information. You can also find these webinars uploaded in the blog. Next Sunday, we are going to do the session on Ayurveda. We will show you some of the Ayurveda raw materials, the pharmaceuticals, how the oils are made. And we will demonstrate, and you can practice like last time, a hand oil application. So until next Sunday, keep well and have a good weekend. To end, I would like to chant one of my favorite stanzas from the Dhammapada, the words of the Buddha. And I will recite it with the meaning in English. Tanhaya jayati soko, tanhaya jayati bhayang. Attachment leads to sorrow. Attachment leads to fear. Tanhaya vippamuttassa natti soko kuto bhayang. For the one who has overcome attachment, there can be no sorrow. How then can there be fear?